From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Our top story this evening, breaking news. The Fairbanks North Star Borough Board of Education and the Fairbanks Education Association have come to a tentative agreement.
Now the agreement is set for a 3-year term. Under the agreement, teacher days will be extended 30 minutes once a week to allow for more planning time.
Also, a 1.4% increase in teacher salaries and a $750 stipend in the 2013-2014 school year was added.
Additionally, salary increases of 1.25% for the 2014-2015 school year and 1.75% for the 2015-2016 school year were added in the agreement.
Now, we will have more on this story tonight on News Center Final that airs at 11. In other news, yesterday members of the 16th Combat Aviation Brigade Bravo Company were training at the Nenana Airfield when they were called upon to use their Chinook helicopters for an emergency rescue. Mike Morgan reported that he owned the missing plane and that he was starting a search for it. After approval was received, the helicopters joined the search of the crew and the missing plane was found. No injuries were reported and the plane has not yet been recovered.
4 residents from interior village of Ellicachet were arrested for their role in a large-scale burglary. Alaska State Troopers say they received a report April 28th that the Ellicachet city office had been burglarized and a safe was taken. Troopers say 20-year-old Thomas Vaughn, 19-year-old Caroline Gary, and a 17-year-old girl all broke into the city office through a window and removed the safe. Troopers say with the assistance of 25-year-old Trevor Williams, they broke open the safe and removed its contents.
The U.S. Bureau of Land Management identified 50 abandoned exploratory oil wells in the Alaskan Arctic that need cleanup. On Wednesday, BLM released a draft plan that orders the remediation of the first 16 of these sites. The Alaska Oil and Gas Conservation Commission will be among those affected by the draft. Additionally, they will be asked to comment on the plan before it's finalized. Currently, the cost of the cleanup is unknown. The draft expects that the work will begin this year, with the cleanup taking place around several sites of drums submerged in oil seeps and other surface debris.
Opponents of recently passed oil tax reform legislation are being allowed to collect signatures required in an attempt to repeal the cut. The venture has taken on a statewide appeal, and here in Fairbanks, it's no different. At the state building downtown, longtime Interior resident Dirk Nelson led a one-man crusade on the issue. Lieutenant Governor Meade Treadwell approved a referendum application supporters of the repeal submitted. They now have until July 13th to gather more than 30,000 signatures to get a repeal measure on next year's ballot. Supporters of the recently passed tax cut legislation say it will incentivize oil producers to increase production. Opponents say it's a giveaway to big oil and will be disastrous for the state budget.
Been removed in great part from a lot of political activism due to a sense of futility, but I see this as very important. This is about giving away billions of my kids, your kids, other people's children's resources. And I think that if you're going to give away that kind of money that belongs to the people, that asking the people should be imperative. And that's what this referendum does, is asks the people, do you want to give away these resources? Especially when there's been no commitment made of further exploration, no commitment made toward further production, and a lot of dishonesty conveyed over the air by the various organizations representing the oil corporations.
As we reported yesterday, beginning August 1st, 2013, any soldier who elects to transfer his or her post-9/11 GI Bill benefits to family members will incur an additional Army without regard to their time in service. The change could mostly affect senior officers and enlisted soldiers who are retirement eligible. As of now, these soldiers may be able to transfer benefits to their families with anywhere from 0 to 3 years of additional service. Soldiers who are not retirement eligible and who elect to transfer their GI Bill benefits to a family member will need to reinstate their time in service for an additional 4 years. The News Center spoke to an education specialist about what soldiers who will be affected could do prior to the change.
Sure, they can request a transfer of their GI Bill to family members anytime before that date.
How long does it typically take to do that?
Takes them about 15 minutes online and probably 72 hours for the approval.
All right, well, when we come back, a memorial service for a Stryker Brigade soldier was held at Fort Wainwright today.
Also, a lot of history at a local school. Those stories are next. Stay with us. And welcome back. The memorial for a Stryker Brigade soldier was held this afternoon on Fort Wainwright. Specialist Zachary New was honored today, and the chapel was packed with soldiers from across the post. 21-year-old Specialist Zachary New died April 22nd at the Veterans Hospital in San Antonio. New was injured January 29th when he was hit by a truck pulling a trailer in the parking lot of the Midway Lodge. New was hit while he and other Stryker Brigade soldiers had pulled over to take a break during a convoy from Fort Wainwright to Fort Greeley.
Oh, it was tragic. It was terrible. It was just that because there was such hope, because after he got in the accident, you know, he was in a coma for a while, and then he started to come around. We were hearing good reports. He did his duty to the utmost of his ability, and he loved it. He loved being deployed, and he loved 1st Platoon. And he was never down and depressed. He was never just, you know, shut away. He was always in the mix with everybody, always having fun. And I mean, we're all just together as one at this combat outpost in the middle of Afghanistan. It was, you know, it was great.
There was a report yesterday of historical figures of the past roaming the hallways of Wood River Elementary School. It turns out those reports were right, although it wasn't ghost apparitions or anything like that. It was a special project to educate students on famous people from the past. 2 classes dressed up in costume and lined the hallways to give commentary on their particular famous person that they were portraying. They were also asked questions and graded by other students. The teachers say they got the idea from other schools and felt this was something their class could have fun with and learn about at the same time.
And I had heard, you know, kind of through the grapevine that other people in the school district and around the country do like living wax museum. And so I took the idea and I ran with it. And the kids have been super engaged and have seemed to be really enjoying it and learning more than I ever thought possible.
My kids really love it, and actually only half of my kids are doing it because I teach 2 grade levels, and the half that didn't get the opportunity to do it are really upset that they're not involved. So we might have to do something similar with both grades next year.
The Vet Center in downtown Fairbanks helps active and retired military members with a number of services. News Center 11's Monty Bowen has more in this report.
Anyone who served in any combat zone is eligible for Vet Center services. The community-based services provide a broad range of counseling, outreach, and referral to help veterans make a post-war readjustment to civilian life. The Vet Center also helps people in rural areas of the state.
There are a lot of veterans in the villages of all the conflicts since World War II, and there's a few World War II vets out there.
Many veterans who did not retire after a full 20-year term don't even know they have entitlements coming to them.
There are some veterans out there that are due compensation. There's benefits available for the veterans, so it's important. They're out there, and part of my responsibilities or job is to go out and encourage those veterans to register with the VA.
People wanting more information can call the Vet Center in Fairbanks. Monty Bowen, News Center 11.
So Joe Cook has been busy twice in a row.
Plus, he's bringing his mom into town later tonight, I heard, so that's
very
really
exciting.
Good. So,
her first visit to Fairbanks.
I know,
to Alaska.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Joe's coming up after the break. In sports tonight, the 22nd annual Water Walk and Run was yesterday, and one of the top finishers did something she's been wanting to do for a long time. Joe's got more on that, plus more high school spring sports action. Joe Cook with sports after the break.
Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here in the sports seat for you this evening. It's now time for some KTVF sports. We start tonight with the 22nd annual Golden Heart Utilities Water Walk and Run. The outcomes of this race was a bit unprecedented, but understandable for the men. AJ Chirac ran away with the overall title, was the top male finisher with a 17-minute, 10-second run, almost a minute ahead of the field. On the women's side of the race, finishers came down to sibling rivalry. The fastest woman was a young lady. 13-year-old Jenna DeFalco finished the 5K in just under 21 minutes and was 10th overall. Her focus was to beat the person she's grown up with these past 13 years.
Well, my main goal was to beat my brother, actually, and I did that because You beat just about everybody else, too.
Beat your brother, huh?
Yeah, that was my goal.
I just went out about as hard as I did on the Chena River run and just kind of kept at it, glanced back a couple times, but didn't look like anybody was going to catch me, so I just kind of held like about I think a 5:40 or so roughly, maybe 5:35, but I don't know, could have been better.
Opportunity to break a sweat, no, man, as opposed to last week, huh?
Yeah, I almost went shirtless, actually. I was kind of tempted, but figured it would be, with all the kids around, I'd keep it on.
And last night in the interior, the first softball action of the season started at Ryan Middle School. The Lathrop Malamutes were in a non-conference doubleheader with the Allison Ravens. In the second game, the Ravens had some control issues, walking a number of Lathrop batters, still getting the rust off, I guess, but Lathrop was sharp. The Malamutes exploded with a 7-run third inning. Selena Maxwell hit a double that brought in 2 runners for Lathrop. Then a few batters later, Tina Persinger hit a 2-run RBI single. Casey Duffield closed it out with her pitching like her sister Kimmy did in the first game. The Duffield sisters had 10 strikeouts in the doubleheader. Lathrop wins both games 10-0 and are 7-0 this season. Now for some high school soccer. The first 2 games of this short season have been big wins for the North Pole Patriots. We go out to Newby, where last night the Patriots girls soccer team was up against the Lathrop Malamutes. The Patriots already beat Allison 6-0 in their opener and continued their dominance with a goal in the first half by Tiffany Summers. The defense was stout, and goalie Alicia Lindsay did her part, denying scoring by Lathrop. Myra Kraft also had 2 saves for the Patriots to share the shutout. The Patriots went up 2-0 in the first half with a goal by Lindsay Dammel. And then the game even had an appearance by a sweet little puppy that got on the field, but the Patriots were all business. Summers gets her second goal of the game in the second half, and North Pole wins 3-0 over Lathrop. Summer describes the performance of her team.
Aggressive. We had to play a lot harder than yesterday, but I'm happy we could do it. I think we're pretty confident. We have a tournament coming up next weekend, I'm pretty sure. So hopefully we can beat them again.
It's always hard practicing in the gym for a couple months and then getting outside and trying to put a team together that maybe hasn't always played together. They're doing really good, starting to work together, actually starting to get some attack. So yeah, I'm really proud.
And the Patriots boys team has been just as lethal, coming off their 8-0 win over Allison. They faced Lathrop as well. Rafael Martinez, hey, they call him Pablo. He turned out to be the focus in the first half for the Patriots with this goal set up by Josh Million. The second goal of the game was unfortunate for Lathrop. Million tries to pass it to a teammate for a score. The ball goes off the foot of Lathrop's Evan Strong, who was trying to clear the ball. Instead, it gets past his own goalie for a score. Martinez would strike again with a beautiful setup by the $1 Million Man, and Martinez would put it in 3-0 North Pole. Martinez had 2 goals, Million added 2 assists, and Brady Crane had 3 saves for the shutout as the Patriots win 4-0 over Lathrop. And the Ice Dogs season is over, but our Fairbanks junior hockey team received some accolades from the NAHL for the 2012-2013 season. The Ice Dogs finished the year 44-22-4 this year, due in part to the play of Garrett Clement, who made the All-West Division team. Doug Rose was also named to the All-West Division team as a defenseman. And for the 3rd year in a row, the general manager of the Ice Dogs, Rob Profit, was named the NAHL GM of the Year. The Ice Dogs had 9 players commit to Division I programs. Of the 28 home games, 24 were sellouts, which led the NAHL. An average Ice Dogs home game had over 2,200 fans, about 98% capacity. No doubt that we will hear those attendance numbers again next season. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. For more KTVF sports, go to Twitter, YouTube, web711.com, and get our mobile app. Stay cool, Alaska. Mike Schultz has your full weather forecast coming up next, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey, welcome back, everyone, once again to the Fairbanks Evening News. Mike Schultz taking a look at today's weather, and we are looking at some great conditions that are going to continue at least through tomorrow, maybe into the weekend. A little bit cooler, but still good, looking good for the cleanup date. Our photograph tonight, another beautiful bald eagle shot. This one was sent in by Bill Blizzard. I love that name. And they got a photograph of this bald eagle along the Chena River. Again, if you have a photograph to share with us, send it to Mike Schultz at KTVF11.com. What's going on as far as temperatures? 54 degrees after a high of 55 at the airport, but some areas reporting close to 60 degrees. The sunrise about 4:49 this morning. The sun sets this evening at 10:51, giving us a little over 18 hours of daylight. And there's your record high of 80 degrees in 1995, one below in 1964 for the record low. What's going on across the across the state today? As you can see, there is some moisture trying to work its way across the Alaska range, but not having a whole lot of luck. Just mainly some high clouds moving across the interior, and we're expecting that pattern to continue. Elsewhere across the state, here's what it looks like. Looks like more clouds moving in over the Juneau area and cloudy skies from Anchorage around Kodiak all along the Aleutian chain. And up and down the west coast looking also cloudy skies. A little bit of light snow around the Barrow area. And Fort Yukon 50 degrees in sunshine. Lower 48 weather tonight. Nice weather once again out to the west. 78 degrees in Salt Lake City. Thunderstorms rumbling around the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And some showers and thunderstorms over the northeast too. On the satellite and radar, you can see the thunderstorms being caused by that area of low pressure still taking its time moving out of the country. And then more activity moving across the Rockies and across parts of Texas, bringing some violent weather there. Now the jet stream later on this weekend is expected to bring a lot of cool air in from Canada, which will once again clash with that warm, humid air coming up from the south. Again, widespread thunderstorm activity is expected. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. Flurries in Barrow, snow showers at Nome, cloudy skies for Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, more clouds around the Healy area, but still lots of sunshine in Fairbanks. Over southeast Alaska, we're looking at partly cloudy skies for Juneau, more clouds in the Ketchikan area. And over to the southwest, it looks like rain showers at Cold Bay, partly cloudy in Bethel, and also partly cloudy at Kodiak. And over the south central regions, looking at partly sunny skies in Anchorage and Valdez, but more clouds expected at Homer. Okay, once again, time for our kids' weather. And all this week we've been talking with the kids from Hunter Elementary School. But tonight, it's the teacher's turn.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Jelinek, and this is my 5th grade class here at Hunter Elementary, and we have a weather fact to share with you. Class, did you know that the windiest place on Earth is Commonwealth Bay, Antarctica? For more than 100 days a year, the wind blows close to 200 miles per hour.
Wow! Now they're pretty amazed by that. Next week, we'll have the kids from Joy Elementary here to visit with us. And once again, looking at our pollen count for today, we are seeing a little bit of growth down in the mold area, so keep that in mind. Again, thanks to the Tanana Valley Clinic for updating us each day. Here's your forecast for the overnight lows, 29 degrees, right around 30 degrees, not too bad. Scattered high clouds will continue. Tomorrow's forecast, again, near that 60-degree mark with partly cloudy skies, and the extended forecast calling for more clouds in on Saturday, maybe some showers for Sunday, Monday, and all right on through Wednesday, off and on, but very widely scattered, not expecting a whole lot. Again, temperatures, overnight lows, rising very nicely. In fact, we'll be looking at the low to mid-30s each night, so things are getting a lot better for thinking about planting things. We'll tell you more about that tomorrow night with our garden report, which starts back up again.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it. As you know, I have a green thumb.
Yep.
And
I do not.
Yeah. So.
Mine's pink.
Oh, well, very good.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah. Why is it pink? That's what we want to know.
The question is, Mike, why is it pink?
It's my natural color.
You might not want to know.
Okay. Pink. All right, KTVF and Bailey's Furniture are teaming up for a Spring Dream giveaway where you can win a furniture package from Bailey's worth $2,500.
Tune into the Fairbanks Evening News and News Center Final each night for the first half of a mystery word.
Then visit Bailey's Furniture for the second half and complete your entry form for your chance to win.
We'll announce the lucky winner during the Fairbanks Evening News Friday, May 24th. Very interesting.
A good packaging.
Yeah. All right, that'll wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, the new details on the Cleveland kidnapping case as the man accused of holding 3 women captive for a decade is arraigned. That's next with Brian Williams.
As always, a reminder, join us here 6 days a week and at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
Very good. And from the green thumb, the pink thumb,
and the no thumb,
from all of us here at the News Center, have a great night.
Good night.